what's been announced in this, these fare announcements, but there's actually a huge gaping hole within this announcement. The government have not committed to end the current formula of above inflation fare increases, which is the retail price index plus the 1% that they add on every year. So, come January, there's going to be the 11th year in a row for above inflation fare increases, and that's going to really hit commuters hard.
OK, so the rail companies are allowed to increase fares currently by how much? RPI plus 1%?
So the current formula is the retail price index, which works out this year at 3.1%. Then they add on another 1%, so that is the regulated fare increase. Then there's something called flex, where rail companies can add on as much as 5% on top of that. So some fares used to be able to increase by as much as 9% every year. One of the announcements the government has made in this fares and ticketing review is that they're going to bring down the flex limit to about 2%.
And that gives us a figure of just over 6% then? Okay.
Yeah, but the gaping hole is that the RPI plus 1 formula, every year for the last 11 years, the government have been raising fares above inflation, whilst wages have been absolutely stagnating. And, you know, this is a bit of bitter news for commuters across the UK, and I'm sure this may be a big issue coming up to the general election in 2015 with many commuters in marginal constituencies.
When you look at what the Association of Train Operating Companies say about how much money they make, they look at a pound coin, you know, every pound spent on the railways, they say out of that they only make 3p profit. Now, what figure do you want them to make? Is 3p too much?
Well, we appreciate that train operating companies need to make a profit to then reinvest into the railways, but our main concern is about passengers. Not all rail passengers are wealthy individuals. Some passengers work part-time, some are underemployed. One of the more welcoming pieces of news from this review is that the government are going to trial part-time season tickets, which will hopefully allow people that don't work 5 days a week to buy a season ticket for 2, 3, 4 days a week and make some savings that way. But the main issue for us is the RPI plus 1 formula above inflation fare increases, and again, commuters are going to be hit really hard come January.